If your main goal is to climb from the bot lane right now, or you just want to duo up and have some fun playing broken combos, then this video is for you. We'll be covering 10 of the most OP bot lane combos for Season 16, ranging from super unconventional ones to more traditional AD carry and support duos, so a little bit of something for everyone depending on your taste. Throughout the Rift, a great migration occurs every 30 seconds. The minion wave, a vital food source for any climber who knows how to harvest it. But here, we observe one of nature's most baffling behaviors, the hard-stuck player abandoning his food source to chase a kill he will never get. Without proper wave management, he cannot survive, he cannot grow, he cannot climb. In the wild, this tragedy plays out thousands of times every minute, but today, something is different. Today, he discovered a powerful new tool. SkillCapped Season 16 macro and wave control courses, designed to teach even the most lost climber the secrets of the Rift, walking you through every minute of the game step by step, from the very first wave all the way to closing out games cleanly. And unlike other guides in the wild, we focus on teaching you the macro concepts that actually work in solo queue, and most importantly, strategies you can execute without having to rely on the rest of your pack, which paired with our newly updated Essentials courses, covers everything you need to master Season 16 for every role, giving you the complete roadmap to climb this season. And best of all, you can do it all completely risk-free, as you're backed up by a rank-up guarantee. If you somehow don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service, then you get every penny back. For the first time in his life, he is no longer hard stuck. Check out the link in the description below for an exclusive one-time discount code. So we'll start off with a more traditional bot lane combo, and this is arguably the best that you can play right now, being Ashe with Seraphine. Ashe Seraphine is extremely synergistic because of the fact that Ashe applying slows from her auto attacks and W allows for Seraphine's E to root. In order for Seraphine's E to root, the enemy needs to be slowed when you are using the spell, so Ashe's kit is perfect in tandem with Seraphine. The level 6 all-in threat and long-range catch potential of the duo is what gives it so much agency though. Ashe R followed up by Seraphine R is a guaranteed kill every single time if you're landing it on a squishy champion. Even the poke pre-6 is super disgusting because of the range that Ashe has with her W and the range from Seraphine's Q. Whenever the enemy is going for last hits, then it's super easy for you to chunk them out without them even being able to trade back, so your ability to acquire priority in lane is doable in the majority of matchups. The duo has an incredible amount of kiting potential too because of all the CC they can pump out. If you're sick and tired of getting pummeled by dive champions, then playing Ashe Seraphine is amazing to counter that. Next up, we've got our first unconventional bot lane combo that you'll definitely want to be duoed up and in comms with to make work, being Katarina and Yuumi. So this combo works incredibly well for a couple of reasons. The first being that since Yuumi's W best friend bonus provides her ally with healing on hit, this synergizes amazing with Katarina's kit. Katarina's E, passive, and R apply on hit effects, so it amps the power of Yuumi's W a ton, as you will be benefiting from her on hit healing when you use those spells. You also pick up Gluttonous Greaves for your boots on Cat, so the amount of sustain coming out of this duo is insane. You don't build Katarina AP when playing this combo bot lane either. You build her as an AD fighter, which when paired with Yuumi makes her so difficult to kill. Kraken, Blade of the Ruined King, Death Stance, and Jock Show are generally the 4 main items on Katarina bot, and if you're able to reach all 4, then you become nearly unkillable. A Yuumi attached to a Katarina with a few items in the mid to late game is a skirmishing machine, as Yuumi's utility enables Katarina to thrive even more than she already does in those extended fights. This is probably the most devastating bot lane combo in the game right now if given any sort of advantage early on because of the mobility and dive threat it has. If the enemy bot lane does not have any hard CC, then it makes dive plays at level 6 extremely foolproof. Of course, hard CC is going to be the main weakness to this duo, so blind picking it is a bit more risky, but if you can get it in a game where the enemy bot lacks that CC lockdown, then you're set up to 2v8 the game. So even though on her own, Yanara isn't a very high performing champion in solo queue for Season 16, if you pair her up with Braum, everything changes. Yanara goes from having an average win rate of 48%, spiking all the way up to 52% when matched with a Braum. As you can see on our new free build site, we have a section on our ADC and support page where you can check which ADC and support synergize the best together, and Yanara has more success with Braum compared to all other supports by a pretty significant margin. To check out our new build site and see all this information, we'll have a link that you can click in the top right corner of the screen. And this isn't just a one-time thing over the course of a single patch either. The Yanara Braum duo consistently sits over a 52% win rate in every single patch. So So what makes this combo so strong and literally spikes Yanara's win rate by over 4%? Well, Yanara is an ADC who needs to be up close and aggressive in order to reach her potential. Braum fits in perfectly with this style of play because he can follow up with Yanara by using his W on her and provide a ton of protection for her with his E during skirmishes. Braum just allows Yanara to play so much more freely, as she doesn't need to worry as much about perfectly positioning when she can proc Braum's stuns to kite around. Yanara Q is going to provide that auto reset and offers up a ton of attack speed as well, so you're able to proc Braum's passive very quickly in fights. One of the most OP synergies in the game right now, where both champs complement each other incredibly well, is Senna and Tahm Kench. So in the past, we have seen roles swapped around with this duo where Tahm is actually played as the carry and Senna is technically the support. But right now, with how good Senna is as an ADC, you can just play the duo straight up with Senna farming and Tahm Kench as the support to make things as easy as possible. Senna's main weakness has always been the fact that she's more squishy and lacks a gap closer, so by pairing her up with Tahm Kench, you are able to shore up this weakness quite a bit. As long as Tahm is played next to Senna in skirmishes, then the Senna is allowed to be more aggressive since she knows that Tahm can just use R on her and take her out of a bad situation if she gets dove on. Senna has no issues at all pumping out DPS when she has her core items. It's just the fact that she's super susceptible to getting dove on, so with a Tahm Kench by her side, things are smooth sailing. Another small thing that gives the combo synergy is the fact that if Senna lands her W, then it guarantees that Tahm Kench can follow up with his W. Using a naked Tahm Kench W is often very difficult to land, but if the enemy is already CC'd by Senna's W, then your ability to chain CC an enemy is really free. The catch potential whenever a Senna W lands is absolutely insane with this duo, because not only will Tahm follow with his W, but the impending slows from Tahm Q and Senna Q won't give the enemy any way of escaping. For another more unconventional bot lane duo, this one is all about the level 6 all-in strength, as we've got Lux as the carry and Nautilus as the support. So what makes this combo so strong is pretty self-explanatory, as Nautilus provides a ton of chain CC potential, which then allows for Lux Q to act like a point-and-click spell with absolutely no way of missing it. All that the Nautilus has to do when this combo hits level 6 is press R on the enemy ADC, and you're guaranteed to at the very least chunk the enemy to below 25% health if Lux follows with her full combo. You don't even need to kill the enemy bot lane for this combo to be effective either, because chunking them out will then give the Lux free reign to poke under tower. So if that initial kill doesn't land, then you'll either just delay the kill for when the enemy tries to greed under tower, or you'll force the enemy to base, and this then gives you a big XP and CS lead. And what makes this combo near foolproof is the fact that you don't actually need to land a single skill shot to start the chain CC combo. Not as the point and click R, so this is what you'll want to try and lead with each time, so that all of your skill shots then follow up once the enemy is CC'd by Naught's R. Pre-6, you even have some pretty good kill threat with this duo if Nautilus can line up a hook. Naut hook followed by Lux Q and E will chunk the enemy for over half their health bar and give you a huge priority advantage in lane. So if you want a more easier to execute combo that has as much potential as all the other combos in this video, then Lux with Nautilus is a no-brainer. Back to a more traditional duo now, we've got two of the best champs in their respective roles at the moment being Jinx and Thresh. So this is an absolute classic combo because of the catch potential and chain CC lockdown it provides. Jinx is one of the best ADCs in the game at following up off of a Thresh hook because she can chain the CC with her E. Very few other ADCs have this same kind of follow-up, so the Thresh player gets disproportionately rewarded when playing with a good Jinx compared to the majority of ADCs, as landing a hook has a much greater chance at leading to a kill. What's nice about the combo as well is that the Jinx doesn't need to be perfect with how she places her E. When Thresh hook lands, as long as Jinx places her E down in the general vicinity of Thresh, then the Thresh is able to flay the enemy into her E. So Thresh actually landing the hook is the difficult part about executing the synergy, but everything after that falls into place very well. As games drag on and you reach the later stages, a Jinx who has a competent Thresh buyer who is always ready for a lantern is such a freeing feeling as a Jinx player too. The Jinx gets to play up further with her range from Q and look for aggressive poke, knowing that if she ever gets into any danger, that her Thresh will be there for an easy escape with his lantern. If you want to play a bot lane combo that is going to give you the greatest chance of forcing the enemy to AFK, then look no further than Brand with Vel'Koz. Brand is the bot lane carry and Vel'Koz as the support, and this duo has one of the nastiest level 6 all-ins for any combo in the game. You can swap the roles around if you want to play Vel'Koz in the carry role, but we like Brand a bit more as the carry since he synergizes better with items, as hitting his Rylai's faster is more valuable than Vel'Koz completing his items. How you're going to make this synergy the most effective is by using the AoE from Brand W and Vel'Koz W to hard push waves, force the enemy under tower, and then poke away at the enemy ADC as they are trying to last hit minions. This strategy becomes super silly once you get your level 6, because while the enemy bot lane is forced under tower, Brand can just throw down his R and Vel'Koz can follow with his R to guarantee that you chunk the enemy for over half their health bar. As you reach mid-game team fights, you've got some serious 2v8 potential with these champs, as the AoE damage in a bunched up fight fight can do a ton of work. The only downside to each champ is the fact they both lack gap closers and are susceptible to hard engage, so if each of you use a ban on a meta engage support, then you'll set yourself up really well. A duo that never seems to ever fall out of meta, and one of the best in the game if you want that late game 1v9 fantasy as an ADC main, is Kog'Maw with Lulu. So all the eggs are in the Kog'Maw basket with this one. The Lulu is there to throw everything on him, and the Kog has to perform in order to make this work. It's definitely one of the more high elo skewed combos in this video because you need to be mechanically proficient on your ADC in order to see the best results. The reason these champions work so well together is because Lulu gives everything that Kog'Maw is lacking in his kit. Kog'Maw is a super vulnerable ADC since he has no hard CC and no gap closer, so Lulu being able to buff him up with speed boosts and durability allows him to survive so much better in fights. Kog'Maw has some of the most disgusting consistent DPS potential for any ADC while his W is active. Dealing damage is never the issue for Kog, it's whether or not he can stay alive long enough to actually get the damage off, so Lulu is one of the best supports at enabling that. The lane presence of this duo is quite underrated as well because if you just look to trade around Kog'Maw W cooldown and Lulu E cooldown, then you really can't lose a trade. Kog W is going to outrange most ADCs, so he can almost always get the first hit, and if he does so with a Lulu shield on him, then the ability to acquire the health advantage in lane is really good. You just gotta be more reserved when Kog W is down. Give up a few CS if you need to so you don't get chunked, and then flip the switch and be ready to trade when it's back up. If you want a combo that has the ability to play extremely aggressive early on in lane, then this next one is for you as we've got Samira with Leona. This combo is one of the strongest early game all-ins for any synergy in this video, so that's something you really want to try and play for. If you're going up against a double ranged enemy bot lane duo, then it will be very difficult to get level 2 before them. However, if you're up against a melee support, then you'll have a much greater opportunity. If you are up against double range, then instead of playing for the level 2 spike, let them push you in and play for the level 3 instead. Level 3 with Samira Leona is actually really powerful because you unlock the ability to negate a ton of damage with Samira's W and Leona's W. Level 3 with the enemy close to your tower and you still on full health is going to set you up for a phenomenal all-in opportunity. Not getting poked out for the first few levels is the key with this synergy when going up against double range. If you're poked, then you won't have the ability to all-in at level 3, so preserving health and dropping a few CS early on is completely fine to get the most out of the duo. Something you can do with Samira is actually take Exhaust instead of Barrier to make your all-in threat that much stronger. The hardest part about this combo is netting that first kill as everything falls into place from then on out. The level 6 of this synergy is incredible because the amount of chain CC lockdown that Leona has buys time for Samira to stack up her passive and unload with her ultimate. So if you like being able to engage and constantly be looking for windows to press the go button, then Samira Leona is top tier for Season 16. And then for the final bot lane combo, this one is more off meta but incredibly powerful, being Veigar with Poppy. So the whole idea behind this combo is that Poppy's E has immense synergy with Veigar's E. When Veigar throws down his cage, the enemy is never guaranteed to get hit by the stun, but if you have a Poppy by your side who has the ability to displace enemies with her E, she can knock the enemy into Veigar's cage for the stun. This combo is relatively foolproof, as the only thing that it requires is for the enemy to be within the range of Veigar's cage. Everything after that is super simple, as Poppy uses her E to displace the enemy into Veigar's stun. Veigar then follows with his W and Q as they are guaranteed to hit when the enemy is stunned, and you've suddenly chunked the enemy for over half their health bar. As games go later and you begin playing around objectives, the combo becomes even more deadly, as you've got the potential to find picks and burst enemies out super easily. The raw damage coming out of this duo is really strong for a 2v2, as Poppy deals enough herself that if she finds a pick and Veigar follows with all of his abilities, you are going to kill whatever target you go on as long as they aren't a tank. And you might be wondering, well, if I want a support who can knock enemies into Veigar's cage, then why not just play Alistar? We just think Poppy is in a stronger spot overall right now, and her ability to burst is also much better than Alistar, so actually being able to capitalize on catch plays is superior with Poppy. But while lists like these show you what to play, our brand new Season 16 Essentials courses for every role teach you how to win, each designed to walk you through every stage of the game from start to finish, from the exact trading and recall timers you need to win lane, to the mid-game macro decisions 99% of players get completely wrong, all the way to the team fighting tips and tricks challengers abuse to always deal the highest damage possible. Whether you're a top laner in the most unfavorable matchup possible, a mid laner having to deal with everybody in your lane 24/7, a jungler trying to balance ganking with farming, an ADC stuck trying to hard carry with a support who just exists to grief you, or a support that's struggling to carry games on your own. Our Essentials courses are tailor-made to focus on the exact concepts that actually matter for climbing on your role in your elo. Check them out today, completely risk-free, using the link in the pinned comment or description below, as if you don't climb at least 5 divisions, you get every penny back. So there you have it, everyone. Those are 10 of the most OP bot lane combos that you can play for Season 16. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.